All right, so today we are going to be talking about to that. So let's just take a look at this little short clip.
I don't like glycol ether. You get it? She doesn't like glycol ether. Like either. LOL.
Amy.
His girlfriend.
Sheldon has a girlfriend?
She's not my girlfriend.
How long has this been going on?
4 months.
She's not my girlfriend.
Are you telling me for the past 4 months I've been asking you what's new and you never thought to go with Sheldon has a girlfriend?
She's not my girlfriend.
How did they meet?
Raj and I entered Sheldon's information on a dating site, and it spit out Amy Farrah Fowler.
Oh my god! Sheldon and Amy!
Or as we call them, Shamey.
Shamey! I am so digging the Shamey!
All right. Everyone pay attention. Yes, I have a friend named Amy Farrah Fowler. Yes, she is female. Yes, we communicate on a daily basis, but no, she is not my girlfriend.
Okay, well, what do you communicate about?
Well, my work in physics, her work in neurobiology, and most recently, the possibility of our having a child together.
Thank you.
Wait a minute, a child? You never see this girl. You just email and text and Twitter. Now you're considering having a baby?
Amy pointed out that between the two of us, our genetic material has the potential of producing the first in a line of intellectually superior benign overlords to guide humanity to a brighter tomorrow.
I'm guessing that future historians will condemn us for not taking this opportunity to kill Sheldon.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
It's a big question.
You don't even like people touching you. How are you going to have sex?
Why on earth would we have sex?
Oh, honey, did your mom not have the talk with you, you know, when your private parts started growing?
I'm quite aware of the way humans usually reproduce, which is messy, unsanitary, and based on living next to you for 3 years, involves loud and unnecessary appeals to a deity.
Oh, why?
Yes, exactly.
All right, so Sheldon obviously has a great understanding of sexual reproduction, or asexual reproduction, maybe as he would put it. Question?
It says Eric Kaplan was the executive producer. That's the dude who did like Khan Academy. No, I'm lying.
I don't know.
Never mind. I think
All
there
right.
is.
As a review, what's asexual reproduction?
You mean asexual?
Asexual, that's one word. Asexual reproduction.
Without having sex.
Without having sex, but what do you mean?
One.
So how does it work? One what?
One part. One cell.
One cell, one organism. Like, what was the one in plants? Some plants can produce asexually. What was that called? No, that you're telling me a noun. I'm asking you, what is it called? The process when plants reproduce. Why do not have your notes out? Guys, part of being prepared, just because I give you a note sheet, does not mean you don't take your notes out. Everything we do, remember, a lot of you are forgetting everything that we've already done, and you have an exam that is going to include everything. So back to what we did. Ladrika, get your notes out. Brianna, get your notes out. If you do not have your notes out, everyone get them out now. I do not want to say this every single day. All right, so what was that called? And it was particularly in your packet. Actually, nope. It was in...
It's that bacteria.
No. It was particularly in your notes that we took for mitosis.
Oh, I got it.
What is it?
It's
Look on.
It says mitosis can also create new individuals via in embryo,
Keep going.
embryo, and plant. Oh, budding.
Budding. Budding was the one. Cutting or budding was what asexual. Then there's also asexual reproduction. This is a starfish. If a starfish's limb is cut off or stuck under a rock, it can pull apart, and what will happen? It will regrow it. Did it need another cell to do that? No, that's asexual reproduction. It did that on its own. Cloning is also a type of asexual type reproduction because it just takes the cell from one organism and reproduces using that organism. So those are types of asexual reproduction.
Is that how you get twins?
No. Twins is through sexual reproduction.
Well, I know. Duh.
Sexual reproduction obviously not just involves sex, but it involves
Sperm and egg.
two organisms.
Oh.
And in this case, it is going to involve a sperm and an egg for that case. But the way that we actually get these organisms or these types of cells, us ladies, the egg, gentlemen, the sperm, is through a process called meiosis. And that's what we're going to talk about today. But just to get your minds clear and make sure that you do understand how this all works and not using Sheldon's theory, these two organisms or two cells do have to come together. Once they come together, let's get it on. They then fertilize. This sperm fertilizes this egg. That's that fertilization. When it fertilizes that egg, it's going to end up in something called a zygote. And then this fertilized egg now goes through the mitosis process, which goes through development, where then your cells try to reproduce and they reproduce. And if we think back to our page where we had our sheet that actually looked, not this one, our sheet that looked like this. Then you will notice on that sheet, as it goes through, as your cell develops, it goes through the process of, what's the cycle?
Interface.
All of your cycle, the cell cycle. And it goes through the process of mitosis, where your cells are going to do what? Reproduce, replicate. They're going to make more and more cells. But what's one particular thing in that little picture that I just showed you that happens with those cells? At the very end, when they get through cytokinesis, what do they do?
Split into two organs.
Yeah, but what else happens? Look at that sheet that I gave you. What else happens? All of your cells are the same? So what else happens? What is it called? Specialization. Your cells develop and they specialize. Because when you started here, when your dad's sperm and your mom's egg came together to create you, are you still one particular type of cell? No. All of your cells go through the cell cycle, but then they become specialized. That's how you ended up with a blood cell. That's how you ended up with nerve cells, brain cells, all of those different types of cells that grow and become specialized, and then those cells develop and cells grow and come together to make what? Cells come together to make, not yet. Tissue. Tissues come together to give us organs. Everybody. Organs come together to give us organ systems. The organ system makes an entire organism, which is you. Now, in that process of mitosis and getting specialized cells, other types of cells happen, like your nerve, brain, and all of that. But then, us ladies, we also develop egg cells and sperm cells, because what happens instead of mitosis, when your cells divide for specialized, gentlemen, sperm cells, ladies, eggs, when your cells develop and they become specialized, different types of cells, body cells, what are body cells called again? $1 million question. What are body cells called? Somatic cells. So your somatic cells, if they're specialized to brain, nerve, blood, tissue, all of that, what happens is there are somatic cells that go through another process, which is the process of meiosis, so that we can develop these reproductive type cells. Does that make sense so far? All right, question.
Does egg replenish itself?
No, that's why women have a cycle. If it's not fertilized, get rid of it. All right, so again, what we're talking about today is meiosis. What we're going to do first is we're going to watch a little short cartoon video. This cartoon video is, I'll wait. I want you to pull some pieces of information, so I'm going to pass out a piece of scrap paper. With the scrap paper that you have, what you're going to do is on the little video, just jot down any important pieces of information that you can gather from the video about meiosis that will help you to understand that whole process. So when we come together and we start discussing it and taking notes, you know what to write. Jalil, don't you not have a sheet? Did you get a note sheet? You can pass down this note sheet to the mom. Alrighty. So again, you're jotting down any important pieces of information about meiosis that's going to help you participate in the conversation that we're going to. So on your notes, you have meiosis. Meiosis is, let's get myself together. All right, meiosis is a type of division similar to mitosis. Again, everybody say meiosis.
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 Good. Meiosis, not C's. It's a type of cell division similar to mitosis, but this cell division makes
Different cells.
what kind? What are those cells called? What are those cells? When do those cells happen? For what? Why are you so afraid to say the words?
Sex cells.
They got sex cells.
Oh, that's why they say it make babies.
Meiosis makes sex cells. Which is why all your commercials have something provocative, because sex sells. Right over your head. Never mind. All right. From the notes, or from the video, meiosis results in how many daughter cells now? No. Mitosis is 2. No. It goes through 2 times.
Oh.
So how many is this going to have? 4. Meiosis is going to result in 4 daughter cells. And she talked about something about reduction division. Because it is going to have 4 daughter cells, but are they going to have the same amount as the original somatic cell?
No.
How many?
46.
Okay, listen. Remember, in mitosis, this cell divides, they have the same number of chromosomes. I didn't say a number. I didn't say 46. I didn't say 23. I didn't say anything like that. I just said it has the same number, the identical number, correct?
Yes.
This cell, this body cell in your body is going to divide once, and then it's going to divide twice, but it's called reduction division. Now remember, think back. This type of process is making what type of cells? Sex cells. And these sex cells are what? What are they giving? Sperm and egg. The sperm cell cannot make you by itself, can it?
No.
The egg cell cannot make you by itself, can it? Okay, so they come together to create you, correct? Alright, so back up again. The fact that those 2 types of cells are coming together to create you, which gives you the total amount of 46 chromosomes, which we'll talk about more, we have to back up. You are made up of who and who? Your mom and your dad. So therefore, do you have exactly the identical? I'm not asking the question, Ladrika, so please do not cut me off, because maybe you get it, but everyone else does not. You do not have the exact same amount as your mom, do you?
No.
You do not have the exact same amount as your dad, do you?
No.
You have a portion of it from your mom and a portion of it from your dad, correct? So, in the process of meiosis making sex cells, eggs, and sperm. So let's think about it from this perspective. Let's say me, the lady. Meiosis for me is going to make what? Say it louder, Brandon. Egg cells, correct? And through that process, I'm going to produce 4 daughter cells. They're all going to be what type of cells? What type of cells for me? Eggs. I'm going to have 4 egg cells. They all started from that somatic cell. The fact that I'm only producing egg cells in meiosis, are they going to have the same number, or how is this going to divide? Half. Because then later, when I have my daughters and my son, my egg had half of my chromosomes. My husband's sperm had half of his chromosomes. Let's get it on. And that's how it created my children. Because my eggs, which is my sex cell, gave half of the chromosomes that I have.
Okay, you lost me once you got to the part where you're like, the half of your eggs, your eggs is half of your chromosomes. I don't think
The eggs that I bring to the table to produce children are not going to have all of my chromosomes. Because if that is the case, then you end up with all of your mother's chromosomes and all of your dad's chromosomes. You don't. My eggs only end up with half of my chromosomes. This is why your children are not all of your mommy and all of your daddy. That would be pretty weird.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. She's all of Jay-Z. But,
Is that why most women can only be quadruplets?
no, some people have more.
At a time?
Yeah. All right, we're not going to get off track, guys. We're not going to get off track. Let's stay on track. All right, let's stay on track. When I say let's stay on track, I mean in conversations. All right. So this is where we're talking about the whole process of meiosis being reduction, division. What is being reduced? Talk to your partner. What's being reduced? Hernandez, what's your partner say? What's being reduced? Kennard, what's being reduced? The amount of chromosomes. All of your cells normally have how many? 46. And we're going to keep saying that, but we'll write it down soon. 46. Except for your sex cells. They only have 23. I'm sorry. Okay, so clarifying. Except for your sex cells, they only have, which is half of what your original cells have. So, from mitosis, the human cell starts with how many chromosomes? 46. Tell your partner, I normally have 46 chromosomes. Through meiosis, the daughter cells, which are sex cells, what are they? Sperm or egg. End with 23. Any questions about that? Everybody good with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so are we all clear? Go back to your partner, talk to your partner, and take turns reading this sentence to your partner. One reads it, the other one reads it back, so make sure you're perfectly clear. Do it now, 10 seconds.
From mitosis.
All right, and stop. Stop mid-sentence. If you're not finished, stop. All righty. So now we have something called a haploid. Look at your partner, make a confused face and say haploid. All right. Haploid is a cell that have half the number of chromosomes as the original cell. So now, look at your partner for 1 second and give them another word for haploid. No, not making up another word. Based on the information that we talked about, what's another word for a haploid?
Sex cells.
Sex cell. Why?
Because it's half.
Yep, because the sex cells have half a chromosome. What's another word for a sex cell?
Sperm
or egg. Do we have it?
Yeah.
So we have 3 ways to call out a sex cell. Sex cell, sperm, egg, which is what 2 more for 4, or a Haploid. So if I'm talking about a haploid, then I'm talking about a
Sperm cell, aka sperm egg.
because parents are very happy when they have children.
Not really.
Haploids until they become teenagers.
Yeah, some of them.
All right. So here now we have gametes. A gamete is a sex cell.
What is that? Right. Is that the scientific term?
Yes. So instead of saying sex cells, because people are like, I know it really does, because I see it on TV all the time, they now say gametes, which are your eggs
I got it.
and your sperm.
Cause sex cells, I got it. Oh, I get it. Sex cells, like your cells. Yeah, like that.
All right.
That makes sense.
So now, instead of saying sex cells, we are going to call them gametes. Instead of saying sex cells, we are going to call them
Gamete.
everybody.
Gamete.
All right. So if I say sex cells, you're going to say no, Miss Wiggins. Thank you.
Hey, Miss Wiggins.
So let's talk more about sex cells.
No, Miss Wiggins, Gamete.
Thank you. I'm so afraid to call on my bestie.
No, I'm not talking.
She wants to talk.
No, for you know how it says, and she can say like, you know how somebody say.
I can't hear bestie.
Ew, that's nasty.
Go ahead.
Gametes can also be given.
Okay, here again. I'm so nervous. All right, so let's talk about creating you.
Oh,
This is getting weird. All right, so my turn. She said she don't want to think about that. You're here, honey. You're here.
Your parents have sex,
So I'll wait until we're mature. You are made up of whom?
My mom and my dad.
Your mom and your dad. So here we're going to have dad.
My old lady.
My dukes.
All right? Troy and Brandon, I would have hoped that you would not have sat together because you realized that that was not the mature decision. Your dad brings to the table what?
Sperm.
Sperm cells. So here,
Like the balloon.
and actually I'll draw it the other way. Yeah. So I'm just going to draw it like this. 80s baby. This, you know what? This is a biology class. So there are some things that we will talk about that normally you're immature about. But I'm expecting for you to be very mature. 1 second. 1 second. This is obviously called the what type of cell? Sperm cell, which is a sex cell.
No, Miss Wiggins, gametes.
Thank you. Chappie, question.
Okay, so if you know, like only one egg has to be fertilized to have a baby, right?
Yes.
So if two are fertilized, that's where twins come from.
Yes.
Oh.
And if two eggs are fertilized by two separate sperm cells, that's where you have non-identical twins. If one egg is fertilized by the same sperm cell, that's where you have.
Oh.
I mean, not if one egg is fertilized by two sperm cells, then that's where you get identical.
Wait, so how can one sperm cell?
We'll talk about that a little bit later. All right, so let's move on. So here we go. How many chromosomes does your dad
23.
sperm cell bring to the table?
23.
23.
I'm
Okay? But your dad can't make you alone. So
Why so weird? That's a sexual.
because you guys make it weird.
That's a sexual healing.
All right.
What you say?
Then you need to have whom? The lady that matters, which is your mommy. Okay. Your mom has to bring what to the table?
Her egg.
Your egg. How many chromosomes did your mom bring to the table?
23.
23. All right. So before the interesting stuff happens, let's just break this down for one moment. These sex cells are called gametes. One second. These are called your gametes.
So curious today.
which are also known as
Haploid.
Jenny, thank you. Haploids. And why are they called haploids?
Because it's half.
Yep, haploids with 1/2 of the original cell. We good so far? Okay. So now, close this up. Okay. Once they come together, you get a fertilized egg. Who remembers what that fertilized egg was called? There should be a space in between. There's not one word. Started with a Z.
Specialization.
Zygote.
Zygote. And this zygote, or this fertilized egg, is going to have how many chromosomes?
46.
46. So it's a zygote with 46 chromosomes. Now, it's not you yet. It's just a fertilized egg that's going to have 46 chromosomes. It's then going to develop. It's a messed up arrow. So this is development. It's going to develop. Pacifier. Into you, which is a baby. Why can't we be positive?
We're not babies.
And the baby, or the developed egg, or the developed individual, the organism, is now called a what? What were those things? Look back to your notes. What was that organism called? That has now been developed. Go back to your notes where you have the pretty pictures. That's meiosis, which happens in your toes.
They're called
Mammalian.
Those are the types of cells, but there's another scientific word. I want everyone looking at your notes. Because this now is considered made up of the daughter cells. So what is that?
diploid.
This is going to be your diploid as well for this process.
What is it? A diploid?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Any questions for this? All right, I want you to take a moment. I want you to talk to your partner about this process. Partner talk. One explain it, and the other one explain it in your own words. You have 1 minute. I want to talk to your partner first right now.
That's that.
Use that vocabulary.
Anyway, Mama and Dad have I said it. The dad was like mom's egg, and then the last egg was inside it. 46 months, but that was 26 months. I mean, 23 egg chromosomes. And then they develop, and then you get a baby that's called different egg.
That's 15 seconds. I need to hear the vocabulary. All right, and freeze. So now let's talk about the purpose of meiosis. Everybody say meiosis.
Meiosis.
All right, the purpose of meiosis is to make everybody gametes. Meiosis is how your body makes sperm and egg.
Is there a scientific term for sperm and egg? Or just sperm and egg? I'm sorry.
What did we just call them? Gametes.
What's the scientific word for sperm?
Sperm. All right. Diversity is another purpose for meiosis. Meiosis is going to increase genetic diversity. That's also called genetic variation. What does variation mean? Raise your hand. Nobody else? Chappie and Raji? Okay. Madison. Different types. Someone explain to me, or actually talk it over with your partner for a moment or your table on what you think is the reason why meiosis produces diversity, or it provides a diverse.
Well, and so you can switch
Okay.
All right, stop. Rihanna, what was the reason why you guys said? Really quickly, 10 seconds.
Oh, because they see you don't get the same sperm and eggs.
Okay, but tell me why it's genetic diversity, meaning that you have a brother. That would be genetic diversity. Because did your brother look identical like you? Okay, so tell me why. What would be a reason, Brandon?
They don't have the same DNA as the human cell.
What do you mean?
Meaning the exact same DNA.
What do you mean? What do you mean by not the same DNA?
We said that we have genetic diversity so that
Because that, not so that. Because you're telling me a reason for it. I want to know why this happened.
so that like
Because that, not so that.
so the siblings.
Because, stop saying so. Because what you're telling me is the reason why this happens, not the reason why this comes from this. So tell me that. Tell me why meiosis produces diversity, not what happens because of genetic variation. Why is it that meiosis produces diversity?
So your siblings.
Stop saying so. You're telling me the purpose of this. I want to know how that happened. Chappie.
Me and my partner said it creates diversity because because you have half of your dad and half of your mom, and they both have different DNA. So like when they come together, it's like a whole nother gene.
Okay, good point. So remember this. Every time a mom creates an egg, how many chromosomes? 23. The same 23 every time? No. A mixture of her 23 of her 46 mixed every time. So every time she creates 4 eggs, those 4 eggs have 23 chromosomes, but the 23 in this egg is going to be different than the 23 in this egg, which is going to be different than the 23 in this egg, which is going to be different than the 23 in this egg. Remember, if I have 21 kids in here, I can create different teams every single time. Do you understand that? So it's like I have 21 chromosomes. Each time I can randomize a group. One time with my 4 eggs, let's say, I can have Brandon, India, Rajala, and Aaron. The next time I can have Jadison. So every single time it's going to change it all up. Yes.
I'm confused. Okay, so you have a total of 46 chromosomes, right? So how, if you have like twins or whatever, how do you give? No, if you have like triplets, right? How do you give all of them chromosomes like 23 when you only have 46 in total?
Each cell has 46.
Okay, I got you.
All right. So, same thing with the sperm cells. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop here tomorrow. We'll come back and write this meaning. So, before we leave out, make sure that nothing else is out of that basket. Everything of yours is packed up, and we'll pull out from here tomorrow.